Hey guys, Chester here. Now in this video, I'm going to be looking at every pistol and basically ranking them from worst to best. Now, basically I'll be looking at these again, these are all in my opinion. I'll be taking into account their performance, their cost, and just a lot of things out. There will be two exceptions to the rule. I won't be ranking every pistol because I'm not going to be ranking the Czech pistol here, and I'm not going to be ranking the Railrod. Now the reason being is I've not actually used them, and let's face it, I mean, I can't really use them, so because they're locked behind the gold order wall. So yeah, unless I get some free, gold orders or something like that, I probably won't be reviewing them. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna be starting with what I think is the worst and move our way to the best. I'll also be comparing the stats wise for all of them because some of them have some pretty interesting stats and some of them are actually it's actually quite interesting of where they come, like in terms of stat wise. Anyways, let's start with the worst. Coming in to absolutely no one's surprise, the worst is the Colt New Service. Now, the reason being is, let's just face it, autoloaders beat revolvers in this game. Now, this actually has some pretty good stats in terms of damage. It actually has the joint highest damage of any pistol in Normandy. But everything else sucks about it. It has the worst rate of fire, the worst reload, the worst magazine, and the second worst recoil out of any pistol in Normandy. So, yeah, the only real good thing is you can actually slam fire this thing. So when you're reloading, you can actually fire it again. So you can't actually, it's pretty hard to be caught, empty-handed. But like stuff like the Nagant revolver, it's just lacking compared to the autoloaders. Anyways, let's move on to number 6. Coming in at number 6 is the Mauser C96. Now, this is actually a pretty, I'd say other than the Colt New Service, all of these could basically take number 1. It's actually, well, it's got some interesting stats to Mauser. It has the second highest magazine, and it has I can't remember what I put for the recoil numbers, and it's actually got the joint second highest shots per minute of any pistol, and it has the quickest reload time, ironically, joint quickest reload time. However, it has the second lowest damage. What really puts this as, number 6 is the cost. Like, why would you get the Mauser over any other pistol just, on the premise of, just the cost? Like, if this was 2, maybe even 1 order, like, I think all of the pistols should be at least 1 order, but the Mauser in particular should be at least 2, maybe 1. But yeah, not that, it's a good pistol, don't get me wrong, it's still a really good pistol. It's a pistol, for God's sake, they're really good in this game. But I just think it just does not justify the free order cost. Anyways, let's move on to number 5. Coming in at number 5 is the Luger. Now, the Luger isn't actually that bad. In fact, stat-wise, it actually would be just worse than the Mauser in terms of, it's got more damage than the Mauser, coming in joint second in terms of highest damage. It's also got the joint second fire rate, good. It's got the joint third highest magazine, and it has some good recoil, but it has the second worst magazine. Now, the reason this thing only comes in at number 5 is I just don't really enjoy this, using it as much as something like, say, the other Axis pistols. Now, I don't like the sights. The sights are a bit meh. Other than that, it's still solid. It's a fine pistol. 2 to 3 shot kills at close range. And it's an okay pistol. Anyways, let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is the Walther PP. Now, the PP is actually, on paper, one of the worst pistols in the game. It actually has the worst hit power and the worst recoil of any pistol. So why is it coming in at number 4? Well, despite its numbers here, it actually performs quite well. And if we're being honest, it is a strong pistol. I mean, all pistols are strong. It's got, the joint, it's got the quickest reload time, joint quickest reload time. It's got the second highest shots per minute. And it has the you know, the third highest magazine joint, obviously. But what really puts this above the competition is it just performs quite well, especially in close quarters, which is what a pistol is supposed to be, and it's quite a lot of fun to use. Also, one silver order. You know, you can equip these quite easily into your squads. You know, if you've got some silver orders lying around, you can probably throw one or two on these onto a sniper or something. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. At number 3, without question, it is the P38. Now, this is by far the best Axis pistol in the game. I mean, what's there not to love about it? It's got a good rate of fire. Oh, it's got the second highest rate of fire, second highest magazine, third highest magazine, quickest reload time, really good recoil numbers, and it has the second highest damage. Basically, this thing is just a beast to use. I love using this thing, just pulling it out, literally pulling it out when you've run out of ammo, you pull out your pistol and just execute the guy who thinks, haha, the guy's reloaded. Oh shit, he's got a P38. Bang. Really good pistol. It has saved me so many times. I love using this, but it's just missing on... It's getting in the top 3 just. It's just missed out on number 2, I think, because number 2 and number 1, there was no contender. Anyways, talking of that, let's move on to number 2. Coming in at number 2, undoubtedly, it's the 1911. It's the 1911. You cannot go wrong with a 1911. I mean, joint most hit power in the game. Obviously, you know, with the revolver, ironically. Lowest reload, pretty bad recoil numbers, but of course, the second highest rate of fire. Now, what puts this at number 2 is, well, first off, the cost is only 2 silver orders, which can be a bit steep, but this thing kind of does justify it. It does a lot of damage. It is basically a hand cannon. Like, I remember when I was using this, I nicknamed it the hand cannon, and I still use these. These are so good. I love using the 1911. They do a lot of damage. They are really good. You can just quickly pull one out and just blast away. A lot of fun to use. And in my opinion, it easily comes in at number 2. However, as you can know, there is one pistol that has to beat the 1911. Coming in at number 1, it's the high power. Now, the high power in real life probably is not as good as the 1911, but I'm not getting into that debate. But in Enlisted, it is by far probably the best pistol in the game. First off, the magazine. Highest magazine of any pistol in the game. It's also got the second highest damage. The fastest rate of fire. It's got good recoil numbers. And it has the quickest reload time. So, yeah, not much to hate about it. The only problem with it is the high cost. Like, this should be 2 with everything else being 1. Like, if this was 2 silver orders, it would make sense. It would make sense why this would be 2 silver orders, because this is a legitimate upgrade to the 1911. It's still incredibly good. I love using this. It's a lot of fun to use, actually. Like, but yeah, and you can tell just by looking at it why it's number 1. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.